Has anyone seen player crew mode? Does player crew mode still exist in FIFA 21? Where are the changes to this mode? I don't know. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your FIFA 21 recap video. This one is going to be for career mode. I think you guys were waiting a long time for this one and I can't wait to get into it. So I don't know where to start with this video, so I'm just going to start basically with an opening statement. Half of me is very, very happy with the changes they made because it is useful stuff to have in career mode. But half of me is thinking about all the things they didn't add, which is stuff that would be nice as well. And you guys know that's how I operate. You know, with career mode, it's one of my favorite modes. It's the mode that I want to be the best in FIFA games. So I'm very, very critical of it. But the features that EA has added this year to career mode makes it look like it's going to be one of the best offerings to the mode in a very long time. But is it everything that I would put in a perfect career mode? Absolutely not. It's missing a lot of things that the community would love to see, like a kit creator, stadium creator, sponsors, staff members, facilities, create your own club, ticket pricing, merchandise, all that kind of stuff, and improvements to player career mode. So it's not perfect, but I think it's a good step in the direction where we need to go. But it's going to take a lot of time, many, many years, until we reach that promised land. My main concern is that it doesn't start broken. You know, FIFA 21 just started broken. For the first month, it was useless. I hope it doesn't happen again. Now, the trailer didn't really explain much, so some of you guys may think that there is not much to career mode this year, and I think that's where a lot of the disappointment came. But after reading the pitch notes, I learned a lot of things about the mode, and, you know, my opinion changed of it, because there is a little bit of extra details that we need to go over. So today, we're just going to go through the trailer, the pitch notes, and whatever else comes up in this video. If you love career mode like me, make sure you leave a like on this video. To get all the latest FIFA 21 news and content, make sure you subscribe to this channel. I'm trying to get to 200,000 by the end of the year, so please help me out by subscribing today. We found this disappointing because it was 2 minutes of basically rehashing the same stuff we knew a month ago, but it's a marketing trailer. What do you expect? We had to read the pitch notes to find out more. Basically, you have your interactive match sim. Everyone knows this by now. Visual sim is back in career mode, and this is what it looks like. You're going to have a nice blue thing for Champions League days, and you'll see the things in like a dot form. It's going to be 2D, and let me move this pause button thing. So you'll have the ability to jump into a match, team management, jump to the result, and also resume the simulation. So if you press jump in, it's going to take you in, and you can just play the game like you would on a normal day. You can also interfere when there's key moments like penalties and free kicks. So as you can see, Ramos takes the penalty and scores. And Ramos also has an updated face as well. You might not have spotted that one. You can also make changes with this sim, so you can see which players are running out of stamina and stuff. So you can take control of the team management, get rid of Marcelo, put on another guy there. And you'll also notice that there is like diamonds. This is the match sharpness indicator. And the top one is like morale and all that kind of stuff. There's an exclamation mark, which to me means like keep an eye out on this guy. I don't know. And there's also different levels of things here like fitness, sharpness, morale on the left side there. Now we move on to player development. So we've got one of the biggest features this year, which is the training stuff. So this is basically where you can change attributes for players depending on how you want them to play. So I think this is a good feature because it is necessary. So if you want to make Alexander-Arnold an attacking wide back, you can put him on a program for about 20 weeks. Obviously, if he's playing better, the development's going to be better. But obviously, you can see the key attributes that it's going to target. So this is going to be good to boost players that you want, you know, as strikers, midfielders, you know, that kind of stuff. Now, each position here is going to have different attributes. You can see how many change when you pick a wide back. And if you pick a defensive wide back, you can see there's only a few there. So you got to pick the one you want. And you got to be like pretty specific on what you want to see boosted on a player. Now the squad hub is returning in career mode, so it's going to be there. Okay, this is where you can change positions. So if you want to make Alexander-Arnold a center forward, you can actually do that if you want to, by the looks of it. It's going to be a 67-week program, so it's a very, very long time. But if you want to do it, you can, to make him a right back to a cam. So 67 weeks for that. If you want to make him a center forward, it's going to take 91 weeks. If you want to make him a right winger, 81 weeks. So yeah, you can basically put him wherever you want after. Like, this is pretty good. But I'm not going to put Harry Maguire up front. Each position change that you select changes different attributes for the player. I don't know how good these players can get in different positions. Like, I don't know how good Alexander-Arnold could become as a centre forward, but I guess we'll find out when the time comes. Now, if you want to grow a player in the same position that they're already in, you can do that. There's different like labels that you can put on a player. Like Firmino can be a penetrator, a playmaker forward, or a pressing forward, even a deep lying forward. And each one of these is going to have different attributes that would change when you're doing the program. So 11 weeks, you can boost his certain attributes there. When a player is above 50 in match sharpness, you're going to see different stats get affected. So you're going to see boosts in certain stats when a player is pretty decent with their sharpness. So make sure you keep that up. And now we move on to some active training. Now, this one's not bad as well. I would have liked to have like practice matches and that to test out different formations, but I mean, this is not bad either. It's a start, I guess. So basically, this is your calendar. Looks nice, clean, modern layout. But each day is going to have like certain training things that you could do. Now, if you're a bit lazy, you can just set programs using the schedule thing. You can create rules, so you can have like a weekly plan intermittent rest. You can have after match recovery day, before match training day. So before there's a match, you can have a training day, after the match recovery day right there. It's also going to tell you if the transfer window's closed, but I guess we already sort of know that. Alright, so this is another screen. You can see that this one here, the one that we just looked at, before match had training day, but if you don't want to have a training session before the match, you can switch that to a rest day. You can see the greens come up before a match. So every time there's a match, rest day before. I think that's useful as well because you don't want to, play with the fitness too much before a match. So yeah, basically more control over training, which is going to be fun. Now you can also do the drills yourself if you want, but I'm a little bit lazy. I probably won't do them. You can simulate as well. And you can see that there's different results here for different players. And you can see that it affects fitness and sharpness. Each session is focusing on sharpness, and you can train more than one player at once. So this one has 5 different players in the same session. And obviously, the better the grade, the better they're going to go with the sharpness. Now, we've got weekly plans here. So if you want to have rests, you can do that. But if you want to do only training, that means every single day of the week besides the match day, and maybe some days before the match, is going to be training. Now, I think it's going to be cool to find a balance between training and resting, but yeah, we don't know until we actually try this. When it's a recovery day, the game will tell you that players are recovering a high amount of fitness and losing a high amount of sharpness. So yeah, it's about finding that balance. It all affects the fitness, the sharpness, all that kind of stuff. And basically, I think you have to play the drills yourself at least once to get a score. And then when you simulate, your best score in the drill will go here. So I'll talk about that soon. But as you can see, the sharpness goes up, fitness goes down, and I think that's it for training right there. Now we've got new transfer options. Now, a few people thought you could be Lampard in career mode. There's no words on that at the moment. We don't know if you can be real-life managers. I would go into this assuming not until the beta leaks come out. Maybe we'll find out something there. But yeah, currently no words on being a real-life manager. Now, the biggest things for transfers this year is the loan-to-buy option. That's coming back. That was in old FIFA career modes. So if you're not sure on a player, you can sign him to a loan deal and put an amount on him, So after the loan deal, if you like him, you pay that amount. So this is another new thing in transfers. This is the player swaps thing. So Guardiola says we want 6.8 for Zinchenko, and we also want Zuma as part of the deal. So basically, they can come at you and say we want your player for our player. Just player swaps in general are going to be much better. Sometimes they'll catch you by surprise. Sometimes you can do good business. We'll see what happens with this. Now, enhanced opposition AI is up next in the trailer. Pretty much, apparently the AI is going to be a bit better intercepting and all the other stuff we heard about in FIFA 21 gameplay already. So hopefully it is a good game. I mean, gameplay is the most important thing. And also the league tables need fixing because we don't want to see invincible teams every year anymore. And yeah, it doesn't look too bad at the moment. But of course, until you pick up your controller, you don't know. So yeah, that's pretty much all the features right there. This is probably one of those news cutscenes. I've seen these in older FIFA trailers since like FIFA 19 and stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much your FIFA 21 career mode trailer. So now let's move on to the pitch notes because this is very, very important. It covers a lot of things that the trailer didn't cover. So let's talk about it. We're going to start with the interactive match sim, which is a new way to experience matches in career mode. You can now take a step back from the traditional gameplay and focus on the bigger picture. Interactive match sim enables managers to adopt a more tactical and faster paced approach. And you can still make all the decisions and stuff. We know all about this already. I showed you in the trailer. This just basically goes in more detail about it. But if you've played the visual sim from FIFA 07 career mode, you'll know how this works. The only difference is you can just, come in at key moments. You can jump in and out of the gameplay. So if you're playing a normal game, you can go into a visual sim, I believe. Here is what it looks like. You can just press the jump in button and it takes you straight in 3 seconds. So this is good. No loading screens whatsoever. Just 3 seconds and you're in. And EA says you can also jump back out of the gameplay and watch the rest of the game play out in interactive sim mode or skip straight to the final result at any time. So as you're playing the game, if you're winning 5-0 and there's still half an hour to go, you can actually just press end match or something and the game will just sim the rest of the match. And then you save a lot of time, So even if you start the game as a regular game, you can also jump in and out of the visual sim if you want, if you get bored, or you're winning like 10-0 or something. Now in the visual sim, you can toggle these tabs so you can check the fitness of your players, the ratings of your players, the stats as well, and the game plan of both teams, I believe. And apparently the interactive match sim also features audio commentary and stadium atmosphere throughout the match. So whenever there's a goal, you might hear something in the audio. And I noticed that you can press square there whenever there's a goal to jump into the match as well. So that is visual sim out of the way. Now let's talk about the new match launcher. You can launch each match with one of the three options. Play match loads into traditional gameplay, sim match launches the interactive visual sim, and the quick sim, which is basically what we know already. In a couple seconds, you know the final result. We've included some new information to help you make decisions before entering the match. You can now see the probable opponent lineup alongside your active team sheet, so you can evaluate the fixture and make informed decisions. We've also streamlined the experience by making some changes like automating the kit selection to get into matches quicker. We've also placed match settings here along with the new options that are specific to the interactive match sim, like allowing you to customize the appearance of the teams on the match sim radar. So yeah, this is what it looks like. Instead of seeing just your own lineup, you're now going to see a probable starting 11 for your opponents. I think Liverpool is the opponent there. 4-3-3. This is just a prediction, not the actual thing though, so keep that in mind. But this could help you see who's playing against you and also what formations. It's going to help with your tactics if you really want to use it, you know. Now, I think the kits are auto-select, but you can change them if you go to the customize thing. They're just trying to save you time, but sometimes it will clash. You might need to change them yourself. And then down below, you've got team management, sim match, and quick sim, and play match right there. So next up, let's talk about player development. Player growth is determined through XP accumulation now. So if you remember in old career modes as well, they used XP as a way of growing the players. Now dynamic potential is still going to be in the game. EA has confirmed that. All this player growth stuff is going to be determined through XP accumulation now. So based on how well they do in the matches, their form, and their potential to grow, they will gain more or less growth XP. That XP is distributed to their attributes, determining attribute growth over time. By default, all players are placed on a balanced plan, meaning that the XP is distributed evenly to all attributes. When setting a custom development plan for each position as active, you can choose a set of player attributes and features to get all XP growth. Rather than wasting XP on attributes you're not interested in, the growth plans focus that XP towards major attributes which affect the overall of the player. Skill moves and weak foot ratings, so you can actually, upgrade skill moves and weak foots for players. Attacking defensive work rate, you can change that now for players. And attributes that fuel specialization. So yeah, instead of having a balanced plan, do this stuff. You can, trigger a lot of different things for each player and really get them going good. Much like in real life football, the speed at which players develop depends on their age, abilities, potential form and playtime. Give a young player with great potential a few games and help him perform, and he will turn into a better player at the accelerated rate. Keep him on the sidelines for too long and you can have the opposite effect. So we saw this in the trailer. Pretty much you can have different types of things for the position. So you can make Mbappe a target man, poacher, mobile striker, complete striker. And each of these is going to target different attributes, but I think you can change that if you want. So you can see the work rates change, the skill moves change, even the weak foot can go up on players. Pay attention to this and really, develop specific plans for your players. Now let's talk about player position conversion. As part of player development, players can now be converted to other positions, allowing for more freedom and control to manage your squad. Position conversion is mechanically similar to player development, but the key difference is that all growth XP gets directed towards attributes and abilities that would cater to the new position which the player is converted to. Conversions can also impact work rates and skill moves for players. If you want to convert a winger into a fullback, they will need to develop their defensive work rate for the conversion to be complete. It's going to be easier to convert younger players, but you can also do declining veteran players as well, and you can help guide them to a position that helps them conserve their key attributes better. So yeah, Alexander-Arnold there, if you want to make him a different position, it's going to take longer in the program, 164 weeks for some of them, and different attributes will get affected, but this is pretty good. Can you change goalkeepers though? I don't think so. Player development and position conversion are also available for Youth Academy players. So let's take a look at new active training. Our new active training system is focused on the overall match readiness of your squad by making use of an all-new player performance modifier called Match Sharpness. The active training system introduces the concept of a training day which can take place on any day of your calendar, with the exception of match days. Each training day will feature 3 distinct session slots, each focusing on a specific training drill and specific players. Multiple players can now participate in each drill depending on the drill type, allowing you to involve up to 15 players in each training day, so that's pretty good. Every session consists of diverse drills and various scenarios focused on improving a specific area of the game. Training days will always be pre-populated with the appropriate drills, and players based on the active team sheet, but you can always take control and edit them if you want to. Changing your active team sheet will also give you the ability to instantly update the drill and player selection for your training day, allowing you to train an entirely new set of players. So if you want to train the reserves, you have to change the team sheet or something. So it's just pre-populated based on your team sheets here. So here is a clip of it. There's different drills you can pick from. Some are locked depending on where you are in the program. You can train set pieces, dribbling, all the different fundamentals there. And you can have more than one player here as well doing the drills. You can see the sharpness on the right, fitness on the left. And yeah, you basically play around with that for a bit, see how you go. Now this one is important because it says when simulating a drill, the grade you get will also be the highest grade you've obtained when playing it. By default, drills that you haven't played yet will award a maximum grade of D when you choose to simulate them. So if you don't do any of these drills, they're just going to keep getting Ds. So it's very important that at least once you do all these drills. If you can get A+ in all of them, it's going to be good because your players will get A+ when you simulate as well. So don't be lazy with that one. Next up, let's talk about player sharpness. Sharpness is an all-new indicator that helps indicate how ready a player or a team is for a match. A sharp player will have their main attributes boosted and will perform better on the pitch. Sharpness at 50 means the player is at an average sharpness. They will not receive a boost nor incur a penalty on attributes. 50 is the baseline here. Anything above 50 means that the player is sharper and attributes will be boosted. Obviously 100 is the goal there to get the max boost. And anything under 50 means they're going to decline in attributes ratings as well. So if you have a sharpness of 100 for a striker, they're going to get some boosts like that. And you can see Mbappe pretty happy there with the diamond, the green diamond, I'm going to call that. And you can see his boosts there for a couple attributes. The other players there have numbers as well. Some have declines. So, if you have a 0 sharpness, they're going to have reds there for a few attributes as well. So this is why it's very, very important. There are now 3 elements that impact a player's overall, in addition to their development and age. So sharpness, morale, and playing in the preferred position is also important for overall. So let's talk about team schedule planning. You can set 3 distinct types of activities daily, each with their own clearly defined role. You can have a training day which is focused on improving match sharpness at the cost of fitness and morale. You can have a recovery day which is focused on regaining fitness for your players, but it also decreases sharpness the most. And you can also have a rest day which regains less fitness than recovery, but has a smaller negative impact on sharpness while also boosting morale a little bit. You can do these plans every day if you want to, or you can also schedule rules to establish patterns for pre-match days, post-match days, and you can also do things for like 2 weeks in advance. So if you don't want to micromanage this, you can just set it and forget it, sort of. You can also do a few schedule rules in the monthly calendar, and I showed you this in the trailer, so I'm not going to go into too much detail here. Let's talk about the new transfer options and improvements. There's a loan to buy option, which we spoke about before. There's AI player swap proposals as well, which means the AI will now make proposals for players and stuff. There's also contract renewal improvements. We've given the AI-controlled clubs the ability to perform contract renewals based on the player's rank in the club, so you will usually not see the top players in a club become free agents. It can still happen in some cases, as top players might not always want to accept contract renewals. This is going to be good because it's very easy to build a dream team in just 2 or 3 seasons using the free agency thing, and it shouldn't be like that. There's too many world-class players that just become free agents in current career mode. So next up is additional improvements to career mode. So I noticed this one with the quick sim thing. You can play until you're sure your team's going to win and then quick sim to the rest of the game. So let's talk about expanded competition user interface. In previous years, we gradually introduced new UI elements that were specific to the competition you were playing in. In FIFA 21, we built on this by adding competition-specific UI branding in all screens within career mode, so you can get fully immersed in the atmosphere of your upcoming match. These are the competitions for which we have this unique UI branding: England, France, Germany, Spain, USA and Canada, Champions League, Europa League, Libertadores and Sudamericana. So pretty much, yeah, if you're in different competitions that support this feature, you'll see them in the backgrounds of your screen. So if you're doing anything in the calendar and you're in the La Liga, you'll see the colors of the La Liga. If you're in training and you're in the Premier League, you'll see the Premier League branding, even the League One on the team management screen, which is going to be a nice touch. We've got press conference morale impact. We redesigned the way press conference answers impact the whole team. For post-match interviews, only the players that played in the match will be impacted by your answers that address the whole team. In pre-match press conferences, only players that are eligible to play will be impacted. So there's a few changes there. For player morale and player form, they said, "We've received your feedback that maintaining a high morale level for your whole squad is too easy, so we added a layer of depth to how players' morale levels are impacted by performance. Match ratings from their previous match or their current form will dictate what type of answer is the most beneficial to them. A player with low match performance can receive a bigger morale boost from an answer that motivates them, while praise can have the most impact on players that had a good performance. Established Youth Academy. When you take on the manager of your club, you no longer have to start setting up a youth academy by yourself. The club will already have a youth scout hired and a number of players already recruited into the youth academy. So you don't have to set anything up, they're going to have already a youth academy going for you. And that brings me to this homegrown talent thing. If you pre-order or purchase the Champions or Ultimate Edition of FIFA 21, you will be entitled to a homegrown talent player as part of your youth academy. When you create your career mode save, one player with high potential will await you in your youth academy. This player will have the same nationality as the club, and news stories around his performance will call out his upbringing as a local player that grew up close to the club. Now, is this going to be worth the extra $30-40 you have to spend on a pre-order? For me, I don't think so. I don't know if I'm going to pre-order the Champions Edition yet, so I'm still deciding, but I've heard that the homegrown talent thing will be available for any career mode save you create in the game, not just one. So yeah, it doesn't expire. Another interesting thing is the financial takeover setup. Within the setup of a new career mode save, you can set the amount of cash you want your club to receive as part of financial takeover. Whether you want to give your club 500 million or start with next to nothing, you can customize your experience how you want to. So yeah, I think you can start with $1 maybe if you want to, or you can do up to like 500 million or something. I don't know, but apparently you've got some customization there when you start up your game. Next up is negotiation strictness, which is also another big thing. Some people always enjoyed the fact that we let you build a star-studded team without any limits, but for others, this might feel like breaking authenticity or immersion. Instead of picking one of the two approaches, we figured that the best way to go is to allow you to choose how you want to set up your career. Strict negotiation means that clubs won't be interested in taking offers from a rival. Players won't be interested to move to a lower ranked league or club that they have a grudge against. Players with the one club player trait won't be interested in joining another club. You won't be able to approach players that signed to a club for less than a year. When the negotiation is set to loose, all of the above limits are off, so you can make these transfers without any of the above mentioned restrictions. Let's talk about player retirements. We changed the player retirement logic to trigger only if the player is in the final year of their current contract. This will allow star veteran players to push retirement further. We've also changed the age at which players retire to make retirement age closer to 40. Let's talk about board objectives. EA says we've replaced the objectives around match attendance and season tickets with milestones that the fans would love to see in a club. These milestones include reaching a certain amount of wins in a season, a winning streak at home, a run of unbeaten games away, and many more. We've also changed the requirements to give youth players playtime to 2 seasons in order to make sure there's plenty of opportunities. So I'm hoping for some nice objectives here because currently I don't really even pay attention to them. Loan and transfer negotiations. We identified and fixed some issues that were causing the player transfer decision score to be higher than it should be when it comes to transfer offers. Now there's a few factors here that affect transfers, but to me it sounds like maybe it's going to be harder to sign certain players now. Now in terms of broadcast improvements, they've made a number of improvements. Some of these include full refresh of French League 1 and League 2 overlay packages, iconic atmosphere, following the steps of Liverpool's You'll Never Walk Alone, Manchester City and Real Madrid. More clubs will have their anthems implemented for FIFA 21. Some of these include Chelsea, Dortmund, AC Milan and Atletico Madrid. Authentic goal music. This applies when playing at home and scoring. Some of these include Chelsea, Dortmund and Inter Milan. New localized stadium announcers. Playing in different countries across Europe will feel more authentic as the intro, and specific moments in gameplay will include local flavour for the following languages: French, Italian, German, Spanish. And we've got new broadcast stories which will be picked up by commentators during matches. Your managerial club debut, Manager of the Month award winner, debut of a high-profile youth player, milestones for matches played and matches won as a manager, important player returning from injury, player facing his previous club. New tifos for select clubs including Man City, new crowd card designs for select clubs. So that is the pitch notes done and dusted. Thank you to Andre and Alex and the FIFA Career Mode Dev team. If you do watch this video, please check out my other videos on other stuff that needs to be in career mode. Hopefully Create a Club and Stadium Creator can be there one day. And of course, bring back the stuff that you had in FIFA 07 career mode as well, like sponsors and internal memos, all that kind of stuff. Don't worry, I'll be making plenty of videos throughout the year on the things we want in FIFA 22. So EA also did a career mode Q&A, and for press conferences, they said there are more diverse responses as well as new questions in the press conferences. And one person said, are there any plans to bring the stadium customization options to career mode? would be a great addition in the lower leagues where teams have basic stadiums. And EA says, we hear your feedback regarding stadiums and it's something we're always thinking about. This year our focus was on building features and updates to give players more control over their career mode experience. There are several significant challenges to solve in order to create a robust custom career mode stadium experience. We'll continue to explore the options and listen to your feedback on this topic. The interactive sim match clocks somewhere between 4 to 5 minutes, depending on how many match events happen. And then B. Ford Lancer said, will the interactive sim player development and other new features be available for use in the player career mode as well? EA says these features will not be in player career and that they are aware of current feedback regarding player career. And for the Youth Academy, they said we added more countries where you can send your youth scout to, such as Wales, Ukraine, Serbia, Albania, the Baltics and more. The database of names to pick from for youth players has increased to over 5,000 first names and 8,000 last names. Now one person said, have you tweaked the league tables so it's more realistic? And EA says yes, the standings are better balanced now and you get more authentic standings with a mixture of results. So it's another good step for EA in terms of getting crew mode where it needs to be. But like I said in other videos, we're about 10 years behind every other sports game. So we've still got a lot of time to go. And I think EA should look at NBA 2K and also Madden games and stuff. Just take inspiration from other sports games because, yeah, there is a lot of stuff that could be added here. And I think that's where a lot of the frustration comes from. But obviously, not bad this year. I think it could be one of the best offerings if it comes out working perfectly and not broken. Anyway, let me know what you think, and please make sure you check out this FIFA video. Hit the card in the middle, it'll take you straight there. On Sunday, I'll be going over the Volta new features, so make sure you join me there.